Hello everyone! So today I'm creating this look for you that I have on, and it was something that I created on location on the set of a shoot recently. So November the 13th was a couple of Sundays ago, and I got together with a few people to put together a shoot, and the brief for the day was kind of boho hippie chic inspired with earthy tones. And the makeup was kind of natural, and this is kind of the second half of the day, so there was kind of a more neutral look than this, and then this is kind of intense lips. So I just thought it would be kind of an interesting thing to show you. Also, just to let you know something kind of exciting for me, I've put together a little blog. Been meaning to do that for a really long time and finally did it, so I will link you below to my blog if you want to have a look at it. There'll be some pictures from behind the scenes, and also I got a lot of footage from the day when we were shooting, so I'll put together a kind of behind the scenes video. Hope you're all well, and yeah, here we go. Okay, so first thing I did with my model, I used my Clarins Beauty Flash Balm, which is about £28 from Clarins. I rub it kind of in between my fingers and then smooth it on. Okay, so on the model's skin I used Dior Sculpt. I only have a little weeny little tester of this, so I've just popped some on the back of my hand, and I'm going to just sort of start working this in with my foundation brush. So concealer wise I just used my Derma palette, which is amazing, and I have two of these. I have a fair and a medium for my kit, so I can sort of do really fair skin tones and then medium to dark. I'm just using this on a MAC 224 brush as well, which I always do. The Pixie Woo sisters introduced me to doing this, and I think a lot of people find that a MAC 224 brush is really good for concealing. One thing I would say though, if you've got things like this, don't just dip your brush straight into your concealer, because you're either going to pick up loads or hardly any at all. So I just removed some. You can see kind of because of the scrapings on mine, you can see I've kind of scraped out of mine, which is, I use a spatula, then put it onto my hand, which is hygienic. Obviously you need to be hygienic when doing other people's makeup and your own, and then work it into the hand, and then take from your hand, because then you sort of like, you don't overload with product, which is a really common mistake. So on a shoot you want to kind of get the skin as flawless as you can. If you've got problems with skin because it's bad, then just try your best to get it as good as you can, because that means less editing afterwards, and then your makeup's going to show through even better. So I just took this on dark circles. And then I'm just going to take that over any blemishes. So like normal I have blemishes. No surprise there. So skin done, I'm now going to move on to my eyebrows. Now Becky, our model, she had quite dark features, so quite dark brows, and we wanted kind of quite a heavy brow to go with the makeup. So I'll sort of make mine a bit bigger, but I'm just going to use a slightly darker colour, not like a dark brown that we used on Becky. Because it might end up looking a little bit silly with my change of hair colour. So I just used a MAC 263 angled brush, pick up a tiny bit of eyeshadow and try and make sure they're matte shadows, because you don't really want sparkly eyebrows. And then just very lightly brush through the hair, and using eyeshadow creates a really soft look. So on to the eye makeup. First colour that I used, and you've seen me use a lot of times, is Woodwinked by MAC, which is this one. And I'm next going to take a little bit of Embark, this one down here. So just load up a shader brush, anyone. I prefer MAC 239. I'm just going to pack this on the lid. Okay, and with the Woodwinks we're going to take that underneath as well. Just kind of like 2/3 along the bottom lash. And kind of low down with that. So with that woodwinked all over the eyes and underneath, I'm going to take some of the Embark shadow and rock that back and forth into my crease. And keeping this kind of rounded shape with the eyes. So next, taking Pearl Cream Colour Base by MAC, which is a lovely frosty white kind of colour. I'm just going to put that. I did this one with a brush, but you can do this with fingers. You can see this kind of highlight here anyway because of the dewiness of the foundation, but I'm just going to pop that along the high points of my cheekbones. I'm also just on a pencil brush going to pop that on the inner corner of the eye. So already the look's taken shape. I'm just going to add to the inner corners over that cream colour base and over my highlight a powder from MAC called Silver Dusk, just to make those highlighted areas really stand out. Then using my Illamasqua brush, I'm just going to move that and take that along high tops of my cheekbones. Okay, so we've nearly completed the eyes. I'm just going to take Fascinating Eye Kohl by MAC on the waterline of the eye. Just going to take a little coat of mascara through my lashes. On the cheeks I took my Body Shop Shimmer Block and I'm just going to swirl that around in a kind of tapered brush and lightly dust it to meet up with our highlight. Ooh, just lost a bit of that. A bit just came out the middle. I'm just going to take MAC's Well Dressed blusher. Same brush and just plonk that on the cheeks. Okay. So for the first lip in the day, I took, what did I use? Pink Pout by Revlon, which is this shade here in my palette, which is kind of a cool kind of pink. Cool toned, I mean. It's not like, that's so cool, man. Okay, so just a nice thin layer of that pinky girly colour. So this was basically it for the first look. She had a few nice kind of dainty, elegant outfits with this look, so it was kind of demure and just pretty kind of makeup. So touched up throughout the day obviously, and then just added things in. So for example, the lighting on the day in the woods and just with the setting and everything, it was kind of amazing and the lighting just was beautiful. So I decided to use one of my favourite products, and this one is Elizabeth Arden 8 Hour Cream. So this you can use on lips, cheeks, all sorts of places, if I can open it. Here we go. So I'm just going to pop a bit of this on the back of my hand. and then just work into it a little bit, just get a bit on my finger. And we've already got some kind of really high shine going on, but this layered on top is like severe wet look high shine, which, like I say, in the light was amazing. So that was one change I made, and then I added a really dark vampy lip because that's one of my favourite things to do. So I used Media by MAC, which you'll probably think, oh my god, that's so dark. It's this colour just here. There we go. So that's not Media lipstick used to its full colour intensity, but I just put it on like that and it really worked. I think it really went with her kind of olivey colouring. Yeah, so that's it for the recreation of the makeup that I did on shoot. So two kind of looks in one, just adding a few more elements into the first look to get a slightly different effect. And obviously lighting was changing throughout the day, so that really helped when it was dark. We had the dark lip on and it was kind of like, just really went with the setting and everything. So good day, everyone. Okay, so once that white eyeliner's on, that's embarrassing.